Let's go to our phone lines and talk to Elican of Excalibur and Adamantoise. What's up, Elican?
Hey guys, thanks for getting the name wrong. I appreciate it.
We don't give a shit what your stupid name is. So either correct it or just move on.
That's like my real name. Like you can't be calling it stupid.
That's even better.
That's even more of a reason why it's stupid, and it is a stupid name. I'm kidding.
Why did your parents hate you?
Anyway, so why does who hate me?
Your parents.
Yeah.
We assume that's who named you.
Oh no, it's backwards, bro. I'm not. Come on. I think about things. I use the naming logic.
Backwards is the naming logic?
We should have known that was his name backwards is what he's saying.
Okay, what are you calling about?
His name is Dunkle?
It is. That is my name.
I don't believe you.
Your parents really did hate you.
Son?
Jesus. I'm not going to get into the whole naming explanation, but no, I called you guys, although your last bit kind of threw off on why you guys suck, because a lot of people don't call in and tell you why you suck.
It's true.
It's because we don't.
And then also I was going to... well, you do. I mean, also I was going to talk a little bit about my Stormblood hype. It's one of the arguments that I don't hear anybody talk about on why it's exciting just for new content. Mainly, and I'm going to grab my notes here.
Oh, boy.
He came prepared.
Here we go, guys.
You're already a better caller than Ryuichi.
No, I'll get off track, pretty easily.
Like
and then you guys want to talk about my name and whatnot. So the reason I think you guys suck, and I wrote a big email about it, I just never sent it. Apparently, I didn't. Yeah, I know.
That's sad. Why would you tell us that?
I feel offended now.
I almost raged you on YouTube, too, but I was like, oh, this isn't going to go anywhere.
That's a good way to get on the show.
You're the most disappointing caller so far.
Yeah, seriously.
So this is a lot of buildup. Why do we suck?
Do your job!
No, mostly it's you guys a lot talk about how you do. Everybody needs, you need different opinions on. So you do that specifically, right? And so you might share an opinion on the show that you may not hold to keep the viewing audience interested, which I fully support. I get it because nobody wants to hear a bunch of rooms go, oh, this is great. But except for this last bit, and
except we just disproved it with the thing that we just did. Go on. What's your fucking point?
Yeah, which is surprising. And I'm not saying, but you guys always go super negative on everything, and I get it. Like, you might not be as hyped up as everybody else because they, went, what do you call it, Weibo or whatever, and went samurai and all that stuff. But there's never a guy that's positive like all the time, or not all the time, but like more often than not. Like sometimes I want to be inspired, not inspired, but like
okay,
Knuckle-Doo, I get what you're saying. I get it. Here's the thing, though.
Listen, yeah. Here's the thing: is that we want to be inspired too.
Yeah, well, and
Square Enix needs to fucking bring it at this point to inspire us or to impress us at this point.
And that person you're describing, the more often than not happy and like positive person, that was me and Nika for almost 2 years, and even we are kind of beaten down at this point. Where it's like, I can't.
Yeah, you call in and you ridicule us for not having a super positive person, but our reactions and our opinions and the feelings that we hold are based on the game. So you're going to call in and tell us why we suck, but isn't that more indicative of the game and what they're delivering to us as a product?
But also remember, you guys have also said that, sometimes we share a view that's different, than we may hold. And I'm not saying, just you got to have one person on the show that's like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever every time. But, a lot of your reviews and bits, you guys just don't say very many positive things. And some things there aren't positive, and I get it, Lords of a Million. We can all talk about it. But, there should be, you you gotta add something, and you don't have to, of course.
All right, Sonic and Knuckles. I really appreciate the effort here, and I get what you're saying, man. But I came on this show, and I spoke to the positivity of the jump potion against Assface over there, and he got to tear into me for about an hour and a half.
That's right.
I took the positive side on that.
Definitely.
That wasn't fun for me. I didn't want to do that. Fuck the jump potion. I can't do it every week, man.
Yeah, like that's the thing. That's
too much erotic fan fiction as well. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I mean,
Way too much.
We haven't done that in forever.
No, we haven't.
We need to do it today.
Aniero cans it sometimes, which I very much appreciate.
Because we don't have time for it. We don't have time for it. A lot of times we'll take calls like this, and it bumps it off the schedule, and we just don't have time to go back for fan fiction. But look, man.
I'm glad anybody who bumps fan fiction.
But the thing, look, the thing is that, I think that we used to go to greater lengths to try to balance different conversations. And if there's an important point, like the jump potion, that does need all sides kind of represented, then I think we do go out of our way to try to present that point. But I think to your point that we always go negative, to counter that, every other FF14 podcast that I hear goes ridiculously positive, where the things that they're saying become almost disingenuous, where you're going, yeah, okay, we get it. Like no one's logging into this game right now, but yet you have like 9 other shows that are talking about how great this game is, or doing a weekly show about how great this game is. And I don't know, I'm only going to speak for myself, but for me, it's exhausting to try to find the positives, to go out of my way to try to find the positives. I can find positive shit. It's not like I've never been positive about FF14. There's been a lot of stuff that I've been really hyped about. I was really hyped about Dark Knight. I was super hyped coming off of 1.0 into 2.0. And I was really hyped going into Heavensward, because I thought that all of those legitimately had really interesting plot points and narrative pieces that I was latched onto and that I was invested in. And now we've gotten to the end of Heavensward, and I can say definitively that there's not a plot thread being thrown out there right now, maybe outside of Omega and Shinryu, that I'm like, I've got to figure out what the fuck's going on, because every other build-up and subsequent plot point for Heavensward was disappointing. And so it's hard for me at this point to work up the enthusiasm for Stormblood.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I agree, because I know that you guys have been playing the game longer than I have. I started, when Heavenward came out, and I really enjoy the game, and there are negatives for me too. That's just my opinion on. It's frustrating sometimes to sometimes I just I gotta turn this down, because you guys are. I think that most of your opinions are negative, but that's fair. I listen to your show still, so.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ella Kid. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we don't get people calling in and disagreeing with us much. So we do appreciate the dissent.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Stormblood specifically, and I don't want you to just. So basically, I play MMOs and I play FF14 specifically for socializing, like as a game. Like I really enjoy a social aspect. I don't play on Balmung. I don't like erotic fan fiction. But I'm really excited because my free companies are, they're ready to do new content, and I really just like to have a group that I can go, hey, I know all these guys through the internet, and whether or not we're going to do repeating content or new content, doing stuff as a group, I think is the most exciting part about an MMO for me. So seeing the jobs, sure, I would have liked to have, Dancer as a tank, or calculator, these are the jobs I want. But I know that, it's probably not going to happen. So sure, Samurai, I'll tool around with it. I'll level it because I'll be bored at some point. But I really, really like the group atmosphere. So having new content, new areas, and things like that, as big as an expansion can bring, gets me really hyped that, hey, it's going to be fun to log in, see people logged in the free company, and they're going to go, hey, I haven't done this part, or you haven't done this part. Let's go do it together. And then we can kind of, we can get a group together and we can actually have fun as a social group, and it makes me sound like a super lonely dude in real life.
No,
but.
I think I agree with you. I think we're all looking forward to seeing people logged in again.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Our kind of our whole point and why we're so negative is look around, people aren't logged in, and there is a reason for it.
Yeah, and not just that, but I think that a lot of us held the same opinions going into Heavensward. Oh, it'll be nice to have people back on the servers again. Yeah. It'll be nice to be able to group up with people again. And I think that ignores the fundamental problem that we've been kind of striking at, or that we've been talking about for a while now, and that is that kind of downtime shouldn't exist in an MMO to begin with.
Well, I think there always is a level of downtime leading into an expansion, but what 14 sees is not the norm. It sees an unbelievable fall off for a long time
in engagement. Yeah.
Because even in 11, you would see some more of a lull leading up to an expansion because they're working on the expansion,
right?
But it wasn't like this.
No.
And frankly, you were usually still catching up on content from the previous expansion, trying to get it done before the new one launched.
Right. And
There's no concern of that here.
And I think that's where our criticism is sort of founded.
Yeah.
Is because if you see that kind of deterioration of your everyday logging in community, then what kind of bottom line the bottom line hit the game ends up taking. You just know. If people are canceling subs and coming back only when there's relevant content, I'm sorry, we don't have 10 million subs. We are not World of Warcraft. We can't make that work.
Yeah, no, you have to be able to keep people engaged throughout your expansion cycle. And like I say, there's always going to be some fall off, but it can't be like this. I can't log in and be wondering, why is it a ghost town?
And I think the other point, to just talk about Electabuzz's initial point was that we go to great lengths to give you honest opinions and to give you our feedback as players, and not as some kind of paid representative of the game, not as some kind of commercial, and not as some kind of cheerleader. I think when you listen to community podcasts for certain games, that you end up walking away with a far more insular and isolated view of what the community is actually like than is represented on through that show, because every show thinks of themselves as the ambassador for their community.
Sure.
And that's really that's what we decided to let go of. And there's by the way, I just have to mention that there's an arrogance to that point of view. That when you come into a space and you make content, and then you suddenly, whether it's thrust upon you or you put it upon yourself, you suddenly take up the mantle of some of the voice of that game or the voice of that community, or somehow a representative of that community. I think that there's a lot of ego wrapped into something like that. That there's a lot of self-serving bullshit that's wrapped into something like that. And I'm not trying to put anyone on blast, but what I'm saying is that we're not here for some kind of self-serving purpose, right? We do the show because we love the game. We love FF14, whether it's going in a direction that we agree with or not. I think that's up to you to decide every week that you tune in and listen to the show. And I'm okay with people coming away every once in a while thinking that I hate this game. I don't. I never have. But it's fine if you think that. That's how passionate and that's how critical we get about FF14, because I think that is the necessary conversation that has to happen if you're this embedded in any one game or community.
Yeah, and to speak to this point that sometimes we will argue the other side even if we don't agree with it, we will, but rest assured, whatever the show's opinion is the one that will win that argument most times.
Most of the time.
I argued for the jump potion. The argument did not win that debate.
No, but I think you did pretty admirably considering the circumstances.
Considering that
great.
you're Escalio.
Yeah. Ascalia arguing for the jump potion. There's a winning combo.
But anyway, we appreciate your call, Elegant of Excalibur
Dunkle.
and Adamantois. Dunkle. Appreciate it. And we appreciate the dissent, too. If you want to call the show, Limit Break Radio on Skype, 810-515-8715, limitbreakradio.com/Discord. We invite your calls.
It was weird to get that call after doing 2 hours of why we're excited about the game.
I know.
Well, to be
I get
fair,
He didn't know.
He's been wanting to make that call for a while, I'm sure. He's
I'm
like,
sure.
well, ugh.
Yeah, exactly.